Hey, true believers, Englentine here with the 10 greatest Marvel comics of 2019, and I know what you're saying. Gee, one, you're late. Okay, Englentine? Get back on the ball here, bub. And two, how the hell did you find 10 great comics from Marvel? I tell you I did. I'll prove it here. And don't forget to check out the DC Comics here on Old Man Comics and the independents over at I Love Comics. And with all that aside, let's get this party started. Number 10, New Mutants War Children. All right, I'm a big fan of the New Mutants, definitely back in the day, and Bill Sienkiewicz, or whatever you want to call him, and Chris Claremont's run was the pinnacle of the first 100 issues. I absolutely love this book. I liked seeing Warlock. Of course, he goes nuts. We, of course, have Ilyana Rasputin going nuts as well. Kitty Pryde's in here, and I love the fact that they're still writing her as if she feels she's above the other mutants, because at the time there were talks of putting her in the team, and she argued that she had earned her place in the X-Men, so she's always seen them as lesser, and they play off at that as well. Of all the books that were released in 2019 to push the nostalgia buttons, I think this one worked quite well. If you haven't checked it out, definitely considering they have a new series now, I think you should. Number 9, Donny Cates' Venom. Okay, I still am tired of the symbiote. I'm tired of the whole thing. I really am. It's overplayed. That being said, how is he doing this? How is he making me absolutely care about Venom? How is he making these stories really cool? I don't like the character, but I love the stories that are being told about him by Donny Cates. It's just an amazing, it's an amazing accomplishment by a very good writer, because I could give a care. I cannot express how much I don't care about Venom, but I care what happens to him from issue to issue thanks to the writing in this book. It is so amazingly written. I love the bits with him and the son he doesn't want to tell. He's a son to. I actually liked Absolute Carnage. Yes, I liked a Marvel crossover event. It was really good. Number 8, the 80-year specials. We had Crazy, Journey into Mysteries, so forth, so on. You're going to see them as they pass by here. I mentioned, this one was good as well, Crypt of Shadows. This focused on a lot of dog horror, by the way. But these were meant to push the nostalgia button, for whom I guess it was people even older than I am, back when these were a thing. Anyway, they were just a lot of fun. This is old-fashioned comic book storytelling. If you didn't check these out, because, you know, I mean, why would you? It's a one-off. It's not going anywhere. There's no nothing but the good stories that are inside of them. But the truth is, if you like good comics, if you like good old-fashioned comic book storytelling, these are the books to get. I thoroughly enjoyed them. Number 7, SpiderMan Life Story. Okay, first of all, let's get one thing straight. This is absolutely pandering to the fanboy. So this is what if time went by regularly, where, same as us. And the weird thing is everything happens the same way, no matter the changes that are made, where you still have the Civil War, you still have, of course, Secret Wars, so forth and so on. And how would it be affected if time moved on in a regular fashion? And just based on that, this is fan service 101, but it's done well. It's good fan service. It's entertaining fan service, and that's the most important part. I don't know why, but in this particular instance, I loved being pandered to, and it worked for me. Number 6, Conan the Barbarian. And you know what? You can let this stand in for Savage Sword of Conan. Anything but like the Age of Conan and all the side quests are amazing. The only reason why this is not higher on my list, and it's at number 6, which is very respectable, is because they're usually one-off stories. You read it, you love it, you let it go. Otherwise, every dang story is just entertaining. It's well-drawn, well-written, it's a lot of fun, it's bloody. They don't back off. I was afraid that would happen once Conan moved to Marvel, that the stories would become kind of PG-13, the same way everybody's afraid Deadpool's going to become PG-13 when he gets into the MCU. But no, they didn't. It's absolute Conan here, and it is incredibly fun. Every story so far has been worth the price of admission, and that's hard to say about any comic book series, let alone a Marvel one. Number 5. Fantastic Four by Dan Slott has been a joy. I mean, we got to see Ben and Alicia finally married. I like the honeymoon even. The return of the Puppet Master is a lot of fun as well. I'm enjoying seeing Dr. Doom get humiliated on national TV as he tried to use his Galactus as a power source even. There's just so much fun to be had by this. It's amazing to see how bad Dan Slott was on Amazing Spider-Man, and then just the switch over to Fantastic Four, you could tell where the passion lies. I mean, it's just incredible. Incredible, he says the Hulk cover comes across. I don't know. Anyway, if you haven't checked it out because of what Dan Slott did to Spider-Man, you're doing yourself a disservice. Now, granted, I'm not a big fan of the kids. They could shut up more often. But, yeah, once they get down to the core team, it is a joy to be had. Number 4, The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is what you want to get if you want to get the old Spider-Man, that old feeling that you had when you first read him, where it's him again. It's very hard to explain. Spider-Man should not be a morose character. Should not be. I mean, obviously he's always had problems. It's just the character itself. It's almost like Spider-Man was the way he got his escape, Peter Parker's escape from all those problems. Granted, like Spider-Bite right here, that did a little pandering as they tried to recreate the whole kid who collected Spider-Man thing. But the Prowler storyline, the heist that went on with that, everything is just so entertaining. It is just, it does hit the nostalgia bone. And maybe that's what I'm looking for when I'm reading comics now. Something that reminds me of what they used to be and what they seem to be moving away from these days. Number 3, The Punisher. Man, most of this year he spent it captured, and it was still better than most of the stuff we'd been getting for the last decade. I was very happy. When I first read The Punisher, this series, I smiled, and I'm very happy that it continued. I mean, this is a world you don't want to live in. You want to watch, but you don't want to live in. This is a gritty, bloody, harsh world that the Punisher exists in, and it's just fun. It's amazing to sit through. It's amazing to see him go through all of what he's gone through this year, and wow. I mean, it's back rooms, it's beatings. It's bloody, it's headshots, it's everything you want the Punisher to be, and they deliver. They absolutely delivered this year. If you haven't been checking this out because the Punisher's been lame in the past, now's the time to pick it up again. He's back, kids. Number 2, The Invaders. Okay, so this is, of course, the World War II heroes. It deals with that. Captain America wants to help out Namor, but Namor's making a lot of bad choices, including wanting to invade the United States again, which, yeah, okay, when does he not want to do that? I mean, that's almost like a weekly storyline right there with Namor. But this and the way they handled it, I was reading this book, and I was reading what was the big crossover with War of Realms, and I was like, no, this one's so much more interesting. The way they're handling it, it really should be another Atlantis Attacks. If you're going to be bringing stuff up like this, do it now, because this was so well written, so well drawn. Oh my gosh, this book excited me more, and I talked more about this book than any other from Marvel Comics. And the number 1 Marvel comic book of 2019 is Daredevil. Man, he has not been written poorly in years. This is the character to follow. This is the character to buy. This is the one you could put your money behind. Now, granted, at the beginning there was of the year, there was a little mini-series that was a bit of a misstep, in my opinion. But here we have, of course, him dealing with the fact that Mayor Fisk has made street-level vigilantism against the law. You have him fighting the cops as well as villains. Of course, the one scene where he becomes the Punisher, that was awesome. I loved this issue where he had dinner with a mob family. there's no misstep as far as Daredevil is concerned. Everything has been tight. It's been spot on. They focus on the writing. The art is good, but it's the writing that makes this book incredible. I tell you what, this is, if you're not following it, you really are doing yourself a disservice. If you've been saying, where are all the good Marvel books, or Marvel sucks and they never make anything good, you're not expanding. You're looking at those 3 titles that somebody told you sucked and you decided to paint everything over, and you're missing gems like this. Well, wake up. Seriously, Daredevil is a badass book you should be checking out. So there you go, gang. That was the top 10 best Marvel comics of 2019, my opinion, of course. What is yours? Did you read any of these? Do you agree? Do you disagree that they should be on the list? Or maybe I put something too high or too low? Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Marvel comics are. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and make sure that your notifications are on both YouTube and Google. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Ko-Fi, to Patreon, drop $1 in the till, and helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. Thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.